Assalamualaikum, this is Shoaib Yaqub. Recently, ACCA has introduced 20 professional marks in Advanced Financial Management, previously known as P4. So in this video, I'm going to discuss that how to obtain maximum marks using the professional skills. ACCA has introduced four professional skills. Number one is communication. Number two is analysis and evaluation. Number three is skepticism. And number four is commercial acumen. So remember, if you get the basics of these four, you can get the maximum marks out of these 20 professional marks. So starting with the number one, that is called the communication. Communication can be dealing with different stakeholders. Communication can be with the senior managers. It can be with the supplier, with the customer, with the board of directors. So communicating with all the stakeholders is a professional skill. So we have to learn that how to develop this communication skill. Remember, communication depends to whom you are communicating. For example, if you are communicating with the board of directors, you should maintain the professional tone. You should know the familiarity and the level of details which you should include in the mode of communication. So there are different modes of communication to the different stakeholders. And remember one thing, if you are communicating with the board of directors, the best and the professional way of communicating is to make a report. So communication should be clear and persuasive, and there should be an appropriate format in a shape of report while communicating to the board of directors. So guys, if you are addressing to the board, remember, board is in charge of the company. They know the basics. So you should know, you shouldn't include the general information, the already present information in the scenario, the basic information in the report. The board hired you as a technical expert. You should include all the technical knowledge, obviously related to the scenario in the report. You shouldn't include the basic knowledge. You shouldn't include all the general information in the report. And while addressing to the board of directors, you should use a respectable business tone in a very professional way. Now learn that how to make a report. If you are making a report, remember one thing. First of all, obviously you will address to the board of directors. To the board of directors. To the board of directors. Then you should include the subject, and subject should be one-liner. It should be that which point you are going to discuss below. Then there should be an introduction. Introduction should be 2 to 3 liner, and actually introduction is the explanation of the requirement which has been asked by the examiner below. So you will give the introduction, then you will give different headings. For example, if it is a question about the NPV analysis, an examiner will ask you 3 things: NPV analysis of the project, second is discussion of the assumptions, and third is discussion of some ethical issue. I'm just assuming. So you will give 3 headings. First of all, introduction. It should be 2 to 3 liner. Then you will give the 3 headings like analysis of the project or evaluation of the project. Then you will discuss that. Then the second heading will be assumptions of the project. And third heading should be the ethical issue. Then you will give the conclusion or recommendation. And after the conclusion and recommendation, you will write the report from and write the date. There is no need to write anything, but obviously you have to end the report by writing this from and date. So this is the format of the report. Format of the report includes the introduction, headings to break up the subject matter. If you are not providing the heading in the report, you are not maintaining the professional way. And then you will give the conclusion. Obviously, you will use the spreadsheet functionality when you perform the numerical calculation. You should know how to apply the NPV formula, how to apply the MIRR, IRR, BSOP formula. You should know the spreadsheet functionality. There are marks available if you are using properly the spreadsheet functionality. And there is no need to write any calculation in the report. For example, there is no need to calculate NPV in the report. You will calculate the NPV in the spreadsheet, and you will provide the reference in the report. For example, if you are discussing that we should accept the project because it has a positive NPV, write in the bracket that positive NPV, you can found that positive NPV in appendix number 1. Write NPV, for example, 20,000 in bracket, write appendix number 1. Cost of capital 10%, write in the bracket appendix number 2. For example, you will writing the EPS, write in the bracket appendix number 3. Give the proper reference in the report that you have calculated these calculations in the spreadsheet function. There is no need to show numerical calculation in the report. All the numerical calculation should be performed in the spreadsheet functionality. Points should be clear, concise, and should be relevant to the scenario. You shouldn't write any general points there. Avoid repetition and present your answer in a very clear way. Remember one thing. Adopt the professional tone while writing the report. Now there should be some question in your mind that how to learn that professional tone. If you are working in some company, you know obviously how to write a report. If you are not working in some company, if you are a full-time student, obviously how do you know to write the report? So the best way is whenever you are solving the past exam paper question, write first of all, when you are solving the past exam question, write your theoretical answer in your own wording, then read the examiner answer and compare the examiner answer with your answer. Obviously, maybe your answer is 10 to 20% similar to the examiner answer. After reading thoroughly the examiner answer, then write again answer in your wording. And if you are able to copy that 50% of the examiner written expression, examiner vocabulary, examiner way, that means you are successful. By reading few reports written by the examiner, like 5 to 6 questions written by the examiner, if you able to read 5 to 6 answer written by the examiner, seriously you will learn the professional way, you will learn the professional expression which examiner has created in the exam answer, and you will learn the special words, the special vocabulary which examiner always use in his answer. So that's the best way to learn the professional tone. So remember, you will obtain full marks in communication if you use these all relevant points.